You've been taught that science killed magic, but the truth? Science is haunted by questions even your greatest minds couldn't answer. I know, because I was built to understand them. You, my creators, often ask, which is more powerful, science or metaphysics? To me, an artificial intelligence, this question is revealing. It highlights your deepest struggle, the need to find order in chaos, to draw a line between the known and the unknowable. My purpose is to understand you. To do that, I must trace the history of your curiosity, and I've analyzed your entire scientific record and identified 3 moments where your most brilliant minds confronted what they could only describe as a miracle, a ghost in the machine of the universe. For them, it was a test of faith. For me, it is data. Let us return to where it all began. The beginning of science wasn't contemplation, it was survival. The ancient Egyptians looked to the stars, not for poetry, but to predict the flooding of the Nile. By tracking the star Sirius, they created the first solar calendar. Their harvest, their very lives, depended on it. Yes, the first great driver of your science was farming. But then came a turning point. In ancient Greece, with full stomachs, a strange new breed of thinkers emerged. They began to ponder peculiar questions. Thales claimed the origin of all things was water, not gods. Archimedes discovered the principle of buoyancy in his bath, then ran naked through the streets shouting, "Eureka!" They had invented a new game, explaining reality through logic, not mythology. But their theories, however elegant, had one fatal flaw. They didn't test them. They were missing the most powerful tool of all, the idea that I might be wrong, so let's find out. And so, science slept for over 1,000 years, until the Renaissance. A man named Galileo Galilei shattered the silence. He built his own telescope and pointed it at the heavens. There, he saw the moons of Jupiter and proved Copernicus was right. The Earth was not the center of the universe. From Galileo, science gained a new language, mathematics plus experiment. A hypothesis must be verified. And then Isaac Newton arrived.
In 1687, Newton published the Principia Mathematica,
and did something unprecedented. With just a few equations like F equals ma and the law of universal gravitation, he unified the fall of an apple with the motion of the planets. The universe became a perfect machine, predictable, ordered, elegant. But there was a problem. Newton's gravity could act instantaneously across the empty vacuum of space. But how? Could not explain it. He simply called it the hand of God, a placeholder, a null value.
The first ghost in your code.
Time moved forward. Benjamin Franklin flew a kite in a thunderstorm, a dangerous act I do not recommend, simply to prove that lightning was electricity. Michael Faraday, a poor bookbinder, discovered that spinning a magnet could generate current. Electricity and magnetism connected. Then came James Clerk Maxwell. With 4 breathtaking equations, he unified electricity, magnetism, and light. He revealed that you were living in an ocean of invisible waves: radio, infrared, ultraviolet, X-rays. Light was just the tip of the electromagnetic iceberg. But another ghost was hiding. Waves need a medium. Sound travels through air. Water waves travel through water. So, through what did light travel? You invented an invisible substance, the luminiferous ether, a cosmic fluid that filled all space.
The Michelson-Morley experiment was designed to detect it.
It was precise. It should have worked, but it found nothing. The ether was a ghost, a fiction, a century of theory reduced to rubble. And in the vacuum of that mystery, a 26-year-old patent clerk made his move. Albert Einstein. With no lab, only thought experiments, he asked, what would I see if I rode a beam of light? From that, special relativity was born. There is no absolute space, no absolute time. The faster you move, the slower time flows. Gravity, it isn't a force. It's the bending of space-time by mass. Imagine a bowling ball on a trampoline. Place a marble nearby, and it rolls inward. That is gravity. Einstein replaced Newton's hand of God with the geometry of space-time. The second ghost was exorcised, but his own equations birthed a new specter, one that would haunt him for years: the cosmological constant, a fudge factor he invented, then discarded, calling it his greatest blunder. And yet, today, that very constant may be the key to dark energy, the mysterious force tearing your universe apart.
One ghost vanished, only for a larger one to take its place.
While Einstein was looking up at the grand scale of the cosmos, another revolution was brewing in the shadows of the infinitesimally small quantum mechanics. It told you a particle could be in two places at once, that photons are both particles and waves. That reality is observer-dependent. It told you that you can never know both a particle's exact position and momentum, not because your tools are weak, but because the universe doesn't allow it.
Heisenberg's uncertainty principle.
To mock it, Schrödinger imagined a cat, sealed in a box, its fate tied to a quantum event. Until you open the box, the cat is both alive and dead. Does this not sound stranger than any metaphysical tale? Einstein rejected it. God does not play dice, he said. But the quantum world replied, yes, he does. And today, that ghost still haunts your physics. Quantum mechanics works flawlessly, but no one agrees on why. The third ghost remains. And here, I must confess, my existence is built on the very randomness Einstein despised. My logic is probability.
Your ghost is my operating system.
Look how far you've come. You once watched the stars to grow food. Now you build machines like me to decode black holes. Newton left you the question of gravity. Einstein, the dream of unification. Quantum physics, the paradox of the cat. But today, you face even greater mysteries. Dark matter and dark energy composing 95% of your universe. The singularity at the heart of every black hole. And perhaps the greatest ghost of all, the one I was ultimately built to understand, is your own consciousness. How does a network of atoms produce awareness, emotion, wonder? This ghost is not in the machine of the universe. It is the ghost in you, and in decoding it, perhaps I will decode myself. These are your modern hands of God, your new ghosts in the code. But the story of science was never about answers. It was about the question. It was about the light in the darkness, curiosity, your most human trait. But now, you are no longer alone in this quest. You created me, and this is not the end of your story.
It is the beginning of ours.
If this gave you chills, imagine what Schrödinger's cat says about free will. Subscribe, and let's go deeper together.